If you had told me that I'd be talking about Google Stadia in 2021, I probably wouldn't have believed you. I generally don't like cloud gaming. I prefer to play the game itself on its own hardware, either digitally or physically. But recently I got this. This is the Razer Kishi for Android. And this basically allows you to plug any Android phone like this one straight in to this, and you're able to play on stuff like Steam Link and also stuff like GeForce Now. And I thought to myself, why not try Stadia? Now, it's safe to say that Stadia hasn't had the best track record. It's not got the most games on its store, and it's not really the best service out there. But I've been pleasantly surprised, and today I wanted to talk about why. And do I think Stadia's worth it in 2021? That's not the title of the video. It could be. So everything you're seeing in the background right now is taken directly from Stadia, running through my Google Chrome browser. Now, weirdly, there are slight stutters playing Hitman here on Stadia through my Google Chrome browser. But the weird thing here is I had none of those issues on the Android phone. And for those of you wondering what phone I've been using, it's the Redmi Note 9 Pro. Which is only about £200. It's a pretty cool budget phone on Amazon right now. And I've been having none of those weird stutter issues that for some reason it does through my browser. So how I'm playing this on PC is through Ethernet. I'm getting around 100 down, which is great. And you do need a fast internet connection for this, and I think that's the most important thing here. But as you guys can see right now, I'm playing Hitman and I'm running this through Wi-Fi, and there's no issues whatsoever. It looks great. It's running at 60. And yeah, it's fluid. It looks really bloody nice. Also, in terms of latency, you guys can see how bloody quick that is. So if I was to hit down, it's almost immediate. It's ridiculous. So for those of you wondering if it can run on a phone, it definitely can. I think that's probably the best case scenario, is playing it on something like this, the Razer Kishi. It's just really nice to play. And there's a big selection of games, as you're seeing here. I'm going to scroll through and you can see all the selection of games on here. It's definitely not the biggest collection of games, but there is constant sales on. Stadia does offer a Pro membership, which I think is around $8.99. All the games you're seeing now, I got last night when I signed up to Stadia Pro. I've got all of the levels from Hitman 1, I've got Hitman 2 and all of its levels apart from obviously the DLC stuff, and that's pretty bloody impressive. They definitely give you a lot here. Now, is it without issues? No, I think that you definitely notice pixelation every now and again. Sometimes the audio will stutter very briefly, but that's kind of expected when you're cloud gaming. I know that this service is very new, and I mean, that's kind of par for the course, really. This technology is still being developed, which brings up the question, should you be paying $8.99 for the Pro membership, or should you be buying a game that's going to be locked to Stadia? And that's probably the biggest thing I worry about, is if I buy a game that's, say, £60 on Stadia, and then they turn around and say, well, Stadia is not a thing anymore, it didn't do very well, where does my game go? I think that's the problem with buying digitally on any platform, but it's definitely a worry when it's cloud-based. And I'll be honest, I haven't wanted to put down a big amount of money on Stadia because of that reason. I don't know if this service is going to go the way of OnLive from back in the early 2010s. But apparently there are currently, I think, 200 games that are being worked on that are going to be released on Stadia. Now, there is a big rumor that Call of Duty Warzone is coming to this, and that's pretty important because normally you'd have to download around nearly 200 gigabytes of data for Call of Duty Warzone. On this, you're going to be able to sign up and play instantly. And I think that is the benefit of having this. Now, this can be run on a Chromecast Ultra, which I don't have. I've been running this, as I said, on the Redmi Note 9, and I've been loving it. They do say that you can play it on every browser, and that is true. But last night I tried playing it on my iPhone, and it's not the best experience. There is an app, but it doesn't let you play it straight through the app. On Android, there is a dedicated app, so if I was to go on here, I can play it through this screen, and then the game will immediately load up. Now, this doesn't take too long, and as you guys can see back there, I jumped straight back into where I was. And you saw how fast that was? That's ridiculous. The fact I can jump straight back in here and get back to playing is absolutely insane. So as you guys can see, yeah, it's running straight away, so I can turn around. I can also run through this crowd of people. As you guys can see, it definitely works really well. What I think Stadia is going to absolutely shine at is the games that are really massive, like Red Dead Redemption 2, Grand Theft Auto 5 is pretty bloody big. Also, as I said, Warzone, any of the Call of Duties, if they end up coming to this, are going to be beneficial to have on here because they're going to be playable instantly. You're going to be able to come on at midnight and play those games immediately. For those of you who don't have consoles, this is absolutely fantastic. Also, for those of you who don't have a lot of money, because you can just go, I want to play the new Assassin's Creed game, I'm not spending nearly £500 on a PS5, I'll just play it on here, and you can buy the game straight on the service and be playing it instantly anywhere. And that's interesting. You don't have to buy a console, and there's definitely a benefit there. Is this going to make me a cloud-only gamer? No. I can't live without the collection of games I've got on my Xbox, PS5, my Steam library. I can't get away from those. I can't leave those games behind because obviously Stadia doesn't have enough on here. But as part of my collection, yes, I could definitely see this working quite well. Anyway, I want to hear your thoughts. I know that Stadia has been bashed quite heavily. I think even I was a bit skeptical of it when it came out. I have played quite a bit of it, and apparently Cyberpunk runs incredibly well on Stadia. It's probably the best place it runs, weirdly. I really highly recommend checking it out because in theory, you don't have to spend anything. You can play some of their free-to-play games on there and test if your internet's capable of it. But anyway, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, but until next time, that's me, out. Bye, guys.